Hey there, Mary Farias here with 5 minutes is better than nothing of self-development. Studying my book, How to Study Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We are on page 154 in chapter 7 on organized planning. There are two forms of leadership. The first, and by far the most effective, is leadership by consent of and with the sympathy of the followers. The second is leadership by force, without the consent and sympathy of followers. History is filled with evidence that leadership by force cannot endure. The downfall and disappearance of dictators and kings is significant. It means that people will not follow forced leadership indefinitely. The world has just entered a new era of relationship between leaders and followers, which very clearly calls for new leaders and a new brand of leadership in business and industry. Those who belong to the old school of leadership by force must acquire an understanding of the new brand of leadership, cooperation, or be relegated to the rank and file of the followers. There is no other way out for them. The relationship of employer and employee, or of leader and follower in the future, will be one of mutual cooperation based upon an equitable division of the profits of business. In the future, the relationship of employer and employee will be more like a partnership than it has been in the past. Napoleon, Kaiser Wilhelm of Germany, and the Tsar of Russia and the King of Spain were examples of leadership by force. Their leadership passed. Without much difficulty, one might point to the prototypes of these ex-leaders among business, financial, and labor leaders of America, who have been dethroned or slated to go. Leadership by consent of the followers is the only brand which can endure. Men may follow the forced leadership temporarily, but they will not do so willingly. The new brand of leadership will embrace the 11 factors of leadership described in this chapter, as well as some other factors. The man who makes these the basis of his leadership will find abundant opportunity to lead in any walk of life. The Depression was prolonged largely because the world lacked leadership of the new brand. At the end of the Depression, the demand for leaders who are competent to apply the new methods of leadership has greatly exceeded the supply. Some of the old type of leaders will reform and adapt themselves to the new brand of leadership, but generally speaking, the world will have to look for new timber for its leadership. This necessity may be your opportunity. And just because Napoleon Hill was talking in 1937 and directly after the Depression doesn't mean that his words don't mean something today. We are constantly looking for new leadership in this world. We need leaders who will lead by their example, who will be a leader and not somebody who wants to lead by force and trample the people that they lead. We want this all around the world so that people can thrive under leadership rather than be held down by leadership. I equate this to when I used to be a gymnastics coach, and there would be, and the gymnastics culture can be very tricky. And there were a lot of coaches out there who led by force, who led by fear, and got the kids so far, but the kids were not happy. They were not thriving. They were scared every single day. There's a huge difference between leadership by force and fear than coaching through helping the kid and treating them as an individual and helping them move forward in their life and concentrating on the bigger picture rather than the routine right now. And so that is a big aspect of how I came to be a leader in my capacity in my work versus even in gymnastics. It translated into that. I want to help people move forward with themselves, and they can't do it my way. They have to do it their way, but I can help lead them into their way. So that's what leadership to me means, is helping people forward in their way by uncovering it for them, helping them figure out what it is. And that takes understanding, and that takes getting to know the individual to help them. So I hope that you think a little bit more about leadership and leadership styles and really think about becoming and deciding to be one of those authentic leaders that we need so much in this world. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.